Hello everyone, Rabby here. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about something a little bit different. As a warning ahead of time, this is not going to be an easy topic. This is about a canon ship of a minor and an adult, which is why this really should not have been a thing. First things first, there will be spoilers of both the book and game in this video. What game? Balan Wonderworld! I plan on making a video of my overall thoughts of the game and book later. However, this is something that I wanted to keep in its own topic because it's not going to be something that's comfortable for everyone, and I don't really want it blindsiding someone and slapping them in the face with uncomfortable feels when they just came to watch a video game review. Some of you may be wondering what this topic is, and some of you very much already know. Today, we're going to talk about the Cass Milligan problem. Cass Milligan is one of the 12 characters in Balan Wonderworld who you help to heal their heart. Her storyline is a bit harder to understand in the game than it is in the book because of the fact that the game doesn't give us as many details as it should. In a nutshell, Cass had a stray cat that she played with on a regular basis, and one day when seeing it across the street, she called to it without thinking. A car wreck ensued, and rather than checking to see if the cat was okay, she was so afraid of what she might see that she ran away. This is a terrible enough event for her that it threw her heart completely out of whack, and therefore she wound up in Wonderworld needing to have her heart fixed. In the game's cutscene, we see the cat popping up again after her heart is healed, and then we are left confused because we didn't actually realize that she'd run away without looking. We were literally under the assumption, until you read the book, that the cat had died, and then suddenly we get Deus Ex Machina Cat. The problem with her doesn't necessarily lie here, but with her after-game cutscene and the information that the book lays on us. For this, I need to introduce another character, Attilio. Attilio's heartache has to do with his love life. He works as a mascot in a theme park and falls in love with the woman playing Princess Mary in his park's parade. He gets so caught up in whether or not he can actually tell her that the fear of rejection is just, it's too much for him. He can't bring himself to tell her how he feels, and therefore winds up in Wonderworld with an unbalanced heart. Princess Mary turns out to be Cass. Now, for those of you who haven't read the book yet, you're probably saying, but Rabby, Balan always erases people's memories when they leave Wonderworld, so it's not like he knew, right? Right? Hold on to your butts, guys. This is going to be a wild ride. Now, let me start by saying that this isn't going to be a video about me attacking Attilio's character. The actual problem here is with Cass herself. Hear me out here. This is all a horrible tale of bad writing and an idea that really shouldn't have been fleshed out and included in the final storyline. In the book, Attilio and Cass are relatively close friends. We don't know how long anyone has been in Wonderworld because we're given the implication of wibbly wobbly timey-wimey time doesn't matter here crap. Everyone has someone that they're close to because otherwise there's really no one else in their heart stages other than the Nagati and the fake people they might have made themselves. Attilio is a theme park worker. He knows how to talk to kids, and the fact that his heart stage itself is a theme park shows that he honestly really loves his job. It's where he enjoys spending his time, and otherwise he wouldn't have completely surrounded himself with it. He's proud of the rides he's built, he loves showing it off to others, and as a theme park worker myself, I can totally understand this. His job makes him happy, and he loves bringing happiness to others. I feel like in his mind, when Cass appeared, he was just doing his job. Here's a little girl who needed some cheering up, and he had exactly the means to do so. He was continuing to play out the role that he does in the outside world. Nothing more, nothing less. After that, she began to cling to him because, to her, Attilio equaled safety, fun, and platonic affection that she probably started to see as more than just platonic. From the way the book rolls with things, unfortunately, Attilio is not as fleshed out as he should be, and he's either really passionate about protecting those he cares about, or he's just suddenly very head empty, no thoughts. He's got some himbo energy going on, that's for sure. It gets even weirder from here. Cass starts to show unhappiness and jealousy whenever other members of the group have things in common with each other. Oh, matching nicknames don't mean that you're that close. She also makes sure to check herself in the mirror before leading Leo to Attilio for the first time. She sticks very close to him, and has made it very clear very fast that he is the center of her world. When everyone's hearts are fixed, the two of them walk out of Wonderworld hand in hand together, and then we find out that Balan has not erased their memories. They are thrown back into their own times, and apparently Cass's event occurs exactly 10 years before Attilio's. So what does she do? She goes on a 10-year quest to groom herself into the woman he's meant to fall in love with. I am not even kidding you. As soon as she sees ads for his theme park being built, she takes acting lessons, she takes singing lessons, and she quite literally molds herself into whatever she thinks will earn his love. Before I go into why this is absolutely terrible, let me also dive into the psychological aspect as to why this happened, whether the writers realized they did it or not. Again, this is gonna get a bit uncomfortable, so yeah. The main reason she clung to him so much was actually because of the age that she was. For a lot of girls, 10 is the starting point of puberty. For most of us, 10 is when we got our first period, and when our hormones start changing and getting ready for the biggest body changes that we go through. Because of that, her affection for Attilio literally defined her sexuality, which, while it's an actual psychological thing, I feel like was something too big for this media to tackle. It's uncomfortable, and it's weird because of how much focus was put on it. Not to mention the fact that we don't know how long her mental state was in limbo there in Wonderworld, because in the book it states that Lance was keeping them there in false happiness because he loved them and wanted to keep them safe. The time spent there was so pivotal for her that it made her downright obsessed to the point of changing who she was in order to try and be with him. Balan did a lot of damage by letting them remember their time in Wonderworld. It's to the point that it severely messed with Cass mentally. It's more than just chasing after someone. It's pure delusional, obsessive behavior. Had she looked for him for a month or two and then given up hope, thought it was a dream, and then kind of moved on with her life, that would be one thing. But she literally spent every day she came back to her life thinking about him and steering her entire life toward him. That is not healthy. In trying to make a cute game about mental health and how important it is, they made an incredibly unhealthy character. That is one of the biggest reasons as to why this was a horrible thing to let slip into the game. The creators went into this with every intention of giving us all characters that we could relate to, characters that went through similar problems we did, or problems that we would face one day, and things that would help us work through our own emotional problems in the future. This game is about heartache, grief, loneliness, and so many other themes that are important in life. This game didn't need to force two of its characters together into a romance when its main focus was simply helping people through their hardships in life, and it especially didn't need to ship these two particular characters. The other problem with this is the fact that when Attilio goes to confess to the princess and Cass reveals herself, we don't actually get to see Attilio's full reaction to it other than a surprised Pikachu face. It literally skips from her telling him that she's been waiting 10 years to hear him say that, to her calling another character, Cal Suresh, and him congratulating the two. There's no way Attilio wouldn't have reacted when he stated not 10 minutes prior that he had just walked out of the theater and could still feel the warmth of her hand in his from when they were walking out together. Having her be 10 years old and nothing more than a friend to him, to suddenly having her in front of him, 20, and in the place of the girl he had a crush on is just downright weird and skeevy on the writer's part. And even weirder was Cal's reaction to it. Cal is supposed to be super smart, yet here he is, also head empty, no thoughts, and wow, look at this cheese I got. Isn't this some amazing cheese? I'm not even kidding you. He obsesses over cheese for a hot second, and the cheese is literally a plot point that gets them to finding their next friend that they've been looking for. There's no questioning the relationship or any, wow, this is kind of weird. It's accepted so quickly that it gives you whiplash, and then it's accepted by all of their other friends as well. The only reaction they tend to give is, wow, you grew up, smiley face emoji. That's it. While I don't think that this was what the creators were aiming for, I really do think that this was something that should have been caught in production. This isn't even normal in anime culture, where they tend to ship a girl that's 14 with a guy that's 17 together. Legit, it seems to be the formula with most high school aged animes, so this went even further than some of the weirdness I've seen in media from Japan when it comes to age differences. Age difference in general can be a very touchy subject. Honestly, I'm of the opinion that after you're like 21, anything goes with ages that are above 21. So say a 25-year-old and a 35-year-old, yeah, sure, that's chill. Heck, I wouldn't even judge a 30-year-old and a 60-year-old if that made their hearts happy. But taking a character who was 10 and having her obsess over someone who's probably about 20, and then later aging her up to also be 20, that's going too far. Don't get me wrong, I'm fond of the overall game and some of the other things that it presents, but this was skeevy, and it bothers me that some people will legitimately attack others who ship their adult characters with Attilio because this romance is canon and it's so beautiful. It's not beautiful. It's very unhealthy, and it should never have been added to this game. With that, we're gonna go ahead and end the video here. There will be another Balan video coming out at some point where I explain my thoughts on the entire game, and while I was very harsh on this particular subject, I still do have a soft spot in my heart for other aspects of it. This one, yeah, just, no. I don't think so. It's not cool. I'll see you all in the next mess. Later, Gators.